welcome all you pups, pets and handlers to this, our first Puppy and Handler UK live stream. I'm Puppai Buumi, former Mr. Puppy UK and Mr. Puppy Europe. I'm here to introduce you to our contestants for this year's Puppy and Handler UK contest. The contest this year is on the weekend of the 10th and 11th of November. It will be in Birmingham. Please see the website below for more information. I've got some time to kill before we get started. So let me tell you a little bit about the team and the history of the title. And if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. Please keep any questions for the contestants to one side. We'll ask those later. So the Puppy UK team originally was set up in 2015. Zentai Spot was our first title holder. You may have seen him on the documentary The Secret Life of the Human Pups. Fun fact, I was actually that was my very first puppy event where that was filmed. So nice tie-in. Pup Piglet followed Spot. He also goes by Rob Wild. He will be one of our hosts at this year's Puppy and Handler UK. So he's responsible for keeping all of you pups and handlers under control. I followed in 2018. Set up Club Scriptures also in Birmingham, and I went on to become Mr. Puppy Europe. I was followed by Trumpet, who also runs his own event, Doghouse in Stoke, and he also went on to become Mr. Puppy Europe. So we had some UK domination in Europe those 2 years. Malthus, formerly Pup Hunter, was elected the following year, and that was the year that we became a non-gendered title. Where the title holders are able to choose their own title pronouns. So we have the options of Mr., Miss, or Mix available. And then following Malthus, Pup Pastel was elected. Pup Pastel set in place the Borrowing Box campaign and was the second Miss Puppy UK. And a shout out to Pup Pepper, who was the first Miss Puppy UK back in 2018. And then we get on to the current Puppy UK and Handler UK, Scruff and Tony. Obviously, Scruff ran on a campaign of her Bark Against charity, which is around inclusion and diversity within the community. And then Tony looks after, kind of talks about mental health and neurodivergence and what we can do at events to kind of make people more kind of welcome and friendly at those events for that. I see I have some comments. Quincy, are you going to talk in the background, or are you just going to you're going to hover? I think he's going to hover. They're going to hover. So how are we doing this? So we have 2 sessions today. Each session we will have 4 of the contestants. So for the first session we have Dreikick, Mistress Vader, Handler Maz, and Mars Di Milo. So we have some general questions to help introduce themselves to you and for us to get to know a little bit more about them. And I want to be quite clear that the live stream does not count towards the contest. So they're not going to be scored on this. This is just for us to introduce them to you guys. There will be an opportunity to ask each of our contestants 1 or 2 questions, time permitting. So please ask these in the comments. And as I mentioned, Quincy is helping host this in the background. Quincy was our first European Handler 2022, and they will be on hand to select the best questions that come out. So before we get stuck in, are there any questions? Quincy? I don't think we've got any questions. We might have to jump straight in if we've got people available. Quincy, do we have our first contestant? Are they available? You're on mute. You're still on mute. Quincy, everybody.
Hello, sorry.
There we go. We can hear you now.
Technical difficulties in the room up here. The person's just joined the chat, So you are welcome to continue. I'm just looking if there's any questions. There is one question for you, Buumi.
Yeah. How have you found the title for both UK and Europe? Okay. For the UK, it was there was a lot of traveling within the UK. It was meeting a lot of people, but it was also one of the things that I didn't expect was as a title holder, it's not just at events where you're visible; it's also online, and the amount of people that would reach out to me on social media asking for advice, help, support. And it was one of the reasons why I did mental health for my Europe title year, was because it was to acknowledge the fact that there were people out there that were kind of struggling with their pup identity and stuff. And so the UK was very full on, but for Europe, there was a bit more of a plan and structure to it. But they were both great experiences, met and experienced so many things across the UK and across Europe. Anyone who wants to go for a title in the future, I would highly recommend it. It's a great life experience.
So, is there any other questions for Buumi or about this year's Puppy UK and Handler UK this year? And also, that's my partner there who's also modding the chat. So they're making sure that the chat's safe on Twitch and YouTube. So please be mindful and follow the Twitch rules, which I believe should be posted about now. There might be a few second delay. But yeah, you're welcome to continue and go on to the next person if you wish, Buumi.
Yes, please. And let's introduce our... introduce our first contestant then. This is one of the puppies, and this is Dreikick. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
Hello, you did.
Oh, perfect. Do you know what? When I was looking at it, I was like, is that German for three and then kick? So do you kick people 3 times? And I was like, no, that can't be it. I
made the name up on a whim, actually. So, even I didn't know the spelling of my own name.
Ah, fair enough. So I've got 3 questions, and then I've got that I did give you before in advance. So you have potentially prepared a little bit for these 3, but then I've got a 4th one that you have not seen that is just for you. So the first one is, could you give the audience a short introduction of who you are and which city, town, or club you will be representing?
Hello, everybody. My name is Dreikick, and I'm a puppy from Coventry. I'm not representing any clubs this time.
Fair enough. And so the next question then is why have you decided to compete for Puppy UK this year?
Actually, it was a bit of a long shot, but I met Scruff and I met a couple of other title holders at Pride events, and the inclusivity of the pups that I've met are so nice, so welcoming. And me and my experiences as a trans man and somebody who has only just started being part of the community, I thought I'd give it a go because I feel like there's still so much improvement with the whole spaces in general, the scenes. I think there's always somebody that can always take up more responsibility to be able to direct puppy play into something new and something exciting that more people can get on board with.
Well, and just kind of picking up on what you said there about you not being a puppy long. So I came out in 2016 as a puppy, and as I say, my first event was the filming that they did for Spot's documentary. But I'd only been a puppy for 18 months when I went for Puppy UK. And then was elected. So it does not matter how long you've been a puppy. You could have been a puppy for 10 years or 2 months. It's just a great way to kind of get out there and show a little bit of who you are and why you think you should be the title holder. So thank you for that. So I think you might have touched on it a little bit already, but how will you be looking to represent the community during your title year?
So currently I'm working on a safer workspace, that is primarily inclusive with trans, non-binary, and people on the ace and error spectrum. To be able to take this forward, if I was elected as Puppy, I really want to go into more scenes. I want to go and see what is out there, really, because I feel like I've not done a lot of adventuring, and I really want to know this community a lot more.
Brilliant, thank you. And I mean, certainly when I was elected, I think we had 10 events in the UK, and I think currently we're up to about 22. So there's so much to kind of do and experience out there when it comes to kind of the events and the choices out there. But no, brilliant. Right, I have your specific question.
Yeah.
So, and I did read through your application when I was picking all these questions out. I read through the application. So, did your first piece of pup gear change your approach to pup play, and in what way, if it did?
I would say yes, because my first pup gear was probably this hood. And honestly, I think it made me more confident to actually step out and go speak into the community, because I've been to one EMP event, and that was amazing to just be able to put a mask on and not be able to, as normally as you would go say, hi, my name is this, and everything. It was just one of them where I could put the hood on, be a complete different person, and be loved, and just play fetch or something. I think it was such like a really nice beginning to my journey.
And I did actually have a follow-on question. It was like, do you still have it and do you still use it? But clearly you do, because you're wearing it. So, and just for those that are on the call, that you use the acronym EMP. So that's East Midlands Pups. And that's an event up in Nottingham. And that is the third, is it the third or the second Saturday? No, it's the second Saturday of each month.
Yes.
I have been. Really good event. I went for the Christmas event last year, and they were wrapping puppies up on the mats.
That's so cute. I think I went the month before October, because we couldn't. Not October, September. We went in August, and that was like my first experience, because I knew two pups. Actually, there's a pup in there called Sparky, and he actually introduced me to the community over a year ago now. So it was my sort of way to be able to go see him again, and actually be comfortable. So
brilliant. Cool. So they're the questions that I have, but there may be a couple of audience questions. Quincy, has anything come through?
Nothing has come through as yet. Sorry, I'm just jumping in this call now. It's just easier to do this because you won't look at the chat. There hasn't been any questions yet. We are keeping an eye on the chat, but please post them into the chat below to let us know any questions. We have had some support that I've popped up. Fatal Immortality said, whoop whoop, Team Dreikick in the YouTube chat. Mutt also went whoop whoop. Not really questions, but we'll still put them onto the screen for you.
They are probably my partner and my best friend, actually.
Oh. Will they be coming to the contest to support you?
My partner is, yes.
Okay. Well, I look forward to meeting them there. Quincy, have you got any questions? Actually, seeing as you're a former title holder, you must have one or two in your head.
Put me on the spot now.
Yeah.
You like that? I've probably got a few, actually.
Okay, just maybe one or two small ones.
One or two small ones. One question for me is, so obviously we are now introduced the handler title last year. How do you feel that you would like that to go forward with the pup and handler? How would you like to see that relationship?
I think as to go forward, I'd like to see them interact together. I'd like more events where we can sort of be a team and we can do things together, like collaborate in certain ways. I know there's a fair couple of artists like myself that's doing it this year, and I feel like it's something where we can all post something collectively, and it gets a bigger message because you can add two different topics into one.
Yeah, and see that interconnection more.
Yes.
Yeah. You have also got Fatal Immortality said, looking forward to seeing everyone there. Best of luck to all the contestants. I can ask one more question.
Go for it.
here we go. So as someone who's non-binary, hello, how do you feel we can help support people in identifying pups? So in terms of, I don't like the phrase good boy, but obviously sometimes it's really hard when in pet play to know someone's pronouns. How do you feel that you could try and help build that inclusivity?
I think the way that I would do it was probably more include name tags, pronouns. I'm quite fortunate in that my handler would probably speak up for me when I'm nonverbal, but I definitely do think being able to say to somebody and like possibly put up a tag or put up a pronoun badge and just say, "This is what I go by. I need to be respected like this." And I think 9 times out of 10, the odd prides that I've been to, people have listened. So I think that's what we could do, and I think that we can just sort of see gear as just gear. Like, it's just something that's not gendered, just like clothing. And I think that's a really important thing that we're still trying to learn.
Yeah. I'm not a judge, so don't worry about it. Background somewhere as usual. So, but yeah, I think we haven't really had any more questions in the chat. So,
No worries.
really, Buumi, it's up to you.
Yeah, no, I think we've had you 10 minutes. I think you came in. We started a few minutes early. I think we started 5 minutes early. So you have had your 10 minutes. I don't want to keep you any longer than that because I'll let you go. People will be able to see you at the election. So give them a wave goodbye, and we'll speak to you soon.
Quick
Look
one.
very much forward to it. Thank you.
Where do people find you?
I have Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram, all at Build a Wolf. My Telegram is rogue_puppy. I think everything else is Build a Wolf.
Yeah. And if you forget it, it's on our website as well. But
yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Bro. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Buumi. It's just us.
Hey, Quincy. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for jumping in with a couple more questions. I was worried we wouldn't have any, but yes. So moving on to so next up we have 3 handlers in a row. So we've got all the handlers in one go, and the first of those handlers is Mistress Vader.
Hello.
Good. Is it afternoon or evening now? It's almost 5. Late afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hiya.
Could I ask you to give a short introduction, who you are, and which city, town, or club you will be representing, please?
So I'm Miss Vader or Mistress Vader, Laura. I don't mind either one. So I am from South London, originally East London, but I've moved south now. And I'm not representing any club or place because I travel all over for pup events. So I feel like the whole of the UK will be my,
that's a very like international contest. It's like, oh, everybody. No, that's absolutely fine. And I mentioned with Dreikick, it kind of reminded me of like 3 kicks. Is yours linked to that big Star Wars franchise? Is it to do with Darth Vader, or is it something completely different?
Yeah, it's sort of like a play on like the dark side, but actually it's quite the opposite of what I'm like as a handler. So it's meant to be a bit of irony. I can be scary, but mostly I'm nice.
I don't know if this is your performance. I'm sorry for spoiling it. I've just got you coming out in like a Darth Vader and then like a lightsaber, kind of like spank it like a cane.
If you ruin my performance. I'm kidding. It's fine.
It's like you could be talking to your pup. It's like, I am your handler. Sorry. Anyway, why would you like to compete for Handler UK?
So I have quite a non-traditional style of handling. I guess I'm more of like a mummy kind of handler, and I feel like that needs a bit more representation in terms of like the gentle, caring, fun side of it. And I also really strongly feel that pup play is a really good escape. And I just want to sort of represent the fact that it is an escape, and it's like an escape from the real world. So For me, it's all about the fun, silly, cute side and actually enjoying it and just embracing it. And as a handler, I feel like it's my job to encourage that. So that's why I would like to be. I want to show that lighter side of it.
So just a kind of a quick question on that. Do you feel that handler headspace exists?
Yes, absolutely. I often get I don't know. One of my pups calls it like dom eyes, where I'm like really focused. If I'm like in a dom space, handler, it's more like mummy kind of vibes for me. Depends on what sort of play I'm doing.
Fair enough. Cool. And then the last question: how will you represent the community during your title year?
So I feel like I'm quite present at quite a few of the events anyway, have been since around 2018. And I feel like that would be my main thing, is to be present and just be a friendly face that people can approach and chat to. And I mean, I'm quite loud and out there myself, so I tend to talk to lots of people. Squish, sorry, I just seen a comment. And yeah, I would just want to make it a safe space. So I feel like, just being present and actually being there. And I want to travel a bit more. I feel like I've got some plans to sort of go to some more of like European events as well. Ooh. Sort of get out there on maybe X, as much as X might be dying. Probably that's at the moment. Possibly might be moving over to Blue Sky. We'll see how that goes. So a bit through social media as well.
Cool. No, thank you for that. So I do have your specific question. So, and as I said, this was from your application. I went through it. So you talked about pup interactions a lot. I wanted to know, have you had an interaction with a different type of pet player before? So kind of a giraffe or a fox or something like that. And how do you think handling a different pet would be different to a pup?
So it's funny you asked that, because I don't only handle a pup, I also have a bunny.
Oh, okay. We do have a bunny looking after us at the moment.
Yeah, so I have a bunny who I also play with. And it's very similar to the way I would handle a pup, except I guess it would be less like... So the bunny would be more like the prey for my pup, for the other puppies, in terms of that sort of dynamic. But yeah, I have, and I also I go to some of the fur events as well, so I often interact with different animals there.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Quincy, do you have has any questions been asked for Miss Vader?
Hello, I'm back again from the control room. So we have a lot of love in the chats. So we've got I've showed earlier. Jackie says, Mistress Vader, love heart, love heart, love heart, love heart. We've got Squish Hound that said, hi, Laura. We have got a few questions, and we did get very excited in the control room when they came through. So we've got question number 1. Do you handle any other animals apart from just puppers?
Yes, I also handle a bunny who's absolutely adorable. And I actually, one of my previous pups was quite cat-like, so I would say definitely also handled a cat, plus my own pet cat. You know, they can't really be handled.
Can I extend on that? Is there any kind of pet that you would really like to, or are really put off by?
I met a dinosaur at a pup event. What? I met a dinosaur at a pup event last weekend, and it was a velociraptor, and I was like, oh my goodness. So yes, I would love to handle a velociraptor.
In my head, I've got you like Chris Pratt now. It's like,
yeah, like
easy go. Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool.
That's question number 1. Yeah. We also have another hello, and with that we have a question. Question for Mistress Vader. Sorry, I can't say Mistress Vader without doing Mistress Vader. What are your thoughts on fun of pup/handling when it's ingrained in BDSM and more serious kink? Quite a hard question.
Ooh. So I'm very much on the side that pup play is what you make it, and I know there's always the sexual non-sexual debate that happens all the time. I think it can be whatever you want it to be. It is sexual, it is non-sexual, it's whatever you make it. The fun side for me is really the important side in terms of the pup play side of it. Yes, you can have more of a BDSM serious side to it if you and your partner decide to do that. But I absolutely love the fun cutesy bit is like my favourite part. Like when I'm at events or if I'm playing, like that is probably my who doesn't love cuddles and giving head scratches and treats? It's like the best. So yes, my thoughts are it's great.
I think we have time for one more question.
I will avoid the one from one of the judges for the contest because they might want to ask this in your interview. So I'll avoid that one, and I will go to someone else on YouTube who's Sky Blue with the bunny pet. What do you mean in prey for pups? So the predator prey.
Yeah, like the puppy. There's a cute video on one of my Twitter accounts that has my puppy chasing my bunny. So it's that sort of play, as in terms of like, okay, ready, and off he goes chasing the bunny. It could mean a lot of things depending how we were playing. If we're playing cutesy, it might just be a game of chase. If we're playing sexually, it might be something a bit different.
We've got an "Oh no, I'm a bunny," and also "Sorry, Scruff. Yes, I am no fun." We've only got a short amount of time, but back to you, Buumi.
Brill, I think we're up to our 10 minutes. Thank you very much for coming on and answering those questions. Some great answers in there. So look forward to seeing you at the election in a couple of weeks' time. And good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, social media. Yeah.
So my suitable for work one is Pup Mummy Vader on X, and I do have a not suitable for work one on there, but we'll be able to find that if you know me. Yeah, it's on there
directly for not safe for work.
Absolutely. Oh, and I'm on Telegram as well. If you message me on Twitter, I can do that. Cool.
Bro, I'm sure you're in some of the chat groups as well for the events as well, so you'll probably be out and about there. So,
absolutely.
Bro, thank you very much for your time, and let's see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
If you do want to learn more about our handler contestants, you can go out to our website. You can see their small video, and I believe their social media is also attached on there. So do go check it out below. If you're on Twitch, it'll be easier. If you're YouTube, you might just have to Google it. So yes, I'll remove that. Buumi, back to you.
Do you know what? Just before you run off, you're a bunny. And I can't see you as prey when you're bunny. I can't see you being because you're quite a bossy bunny.
Yes.
So you're not prey. Are you kind of like a predator bunny, like from the Monty Python film?
Monty Python. So a bit of both. So yes, I can do prey. I like doing the mix, if that makes sense. So I like the
mixing mitosis.
Not Mrs. Toast. I like switching role dynamics. So the idea of prey being predator is quite a hot idea. So switching, but also yes, I can be prey when you've got me in the right headspace. I've got look. I told you, the boss bunny sounds like a new movie. I've got Quincy has known to kick as a bunny, and yes, 100%. So look.
Do you know what? Just going back to the fact that they saw a dinosaur and a velociraptor, would you reverse that and would you hunt the velociraptor?
Well, if I was Chris Pratt, yeah. I'd be like, I'm going to hunt you now.
Okay. We should get on to our next handler.
We have to. I like chatting.
Oh, bless you, Babs. Bless you, Babs. Come on, Bun Bun. We need to get through this. We've got 6 more to do before the end of the night.
Yeah, you've got to do it. I'm not. I'm just sitting here.
Oh no, you're participating now. You're an active participant.
Well, I don't know how this happened. Anyway, I'll disappear. You can introduce the next person. Bye.
Brill, thank you. Yes, so thank you very much to Mistress Vader there. Our next handler is I got them down as Handler Maz, but I'm going to let them introduce you because I know they might have a different name. So please welcome Handler Maz.
Hello.
Hello, greetings. Thank you for coming on today and taking some time to kind of introduce yourself to everyone and have a chat with me. I'll get straight into it. So could you give a short introduction of who you are and which city, town or club you will be representing?
Yeah, hello there. I'm Handler Maz or just Maz. I'm happy with that. I live in the Nottinghamshire region. I really love Nottingham as a sort of city. Dreikick was talking about it as well. It is really sort of like quite queer, and I would love to introduce more people in the sort of queer and kink communities to what Nottingham has to offer. I'm a handler to 3 really lovely pups. In my day job, I kind of run a arts and literature quarterly magazine called Snowflake. Very neurodivergent. Got like sort of ADHD and EPD and stuff. So that's fun. Lots of executive dysfunction, but yeah, in my spare time I quite like board games and video games and cooking and stuff.
I'm looking
very dating profile actually, but anyway.
I'm looking at the what you've got in your background, so I can see a Dragonite, so therefore you must like Pokemon.
There's also, Dragonite here.
But also there is a big sign in the back, tabletop role-playing gaze. So you must be a tabletop gamer then.
This has an incredible story behind it that I will try and like post at one point. But yeah, I do play a lot of tabletop role-playing games like D&D and stuff. Yeah.
Have you ever done a puppy D&D?
I've really wanted to. I'm actually starting a very beginner D&D game where a lot of the players are puppies. So I think there might end up being an in-person session where everybody's there in masks and we're just like playing like puppy D&D. So I think that would be really fun.
I don't know why, but in my head, I've just got, you know, like you see in like movies, like baskets of puppies and they're newly born. That should be your starting point. It's like, oh, you are in a basket with 6 other puppies.
Yeah, you are a litter.
That's where your adventure begins. Second,
you're the Tavern Dogs kids.
Next question. Why would you like to compete for Handler UK?
Honestly, I want to compete because of my pup. His name is Biscuit, and he's sort of given me permission today to sort of tell you that he's sort of trans and struggles with sort of fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome and some other things. Lately, he's sort of found that like he's been struggling to be as part of the community as his health has declined. And I really would love to help create spaces that not only he can feel sort of safe and supported in, but spaces that are like super accommodating of trans and non-binary people, spaces that accommodate multiple different forms of disability, you know, not just physical restriction, like including stuff like mobility restrictions, sensory issues, mental health stuff, and also like I really like this contest because it's not really about getting elected. It kind of is. I mean, that's the end goal, but I also think it is a really cool opportunity for me to find out a lot more about this community that I really love. I'm relatively new to it. I've only sort of been a handler for about 3 or 4 years, and I feel very new to it all. So yeah, I'd love to find out more.
Brilliant, thank you. And as I said to Dreikick, it doesn't matter if you've been in the community for 2 months or 10 years. I think everyone's got the same opportunity. It's about kind of what you're passionate for, and I think sometimes that comes across. Certainly on things like this, I think it comes across. So brilliant, thank you for that. And you've already kind of touched on it, but how would you look to represent the community during your title year if elected?
Yeah, I sort of had 2 ideas around this sort of the boosting accessibility spaces, and one of them was Space Pup Silver's quite detailed non-verbal gestures, and kind of expanding on that to consider like neurodivergent and physical disability needs, but also as well as like common gestures for like pronouns and like gender identity gestures. So it's kind of like really quick, really fast way of conveying a lot of information that then allows like pups and handlers to interact, you know, much quicker and in a very like mutually respectful way. Mm-hmm. The second one is kind of forming a committee of pups that will, go to their local event and basically have a guide on how to discuss and help an event planner, somebody who's running one of these events, help them kind of make their event more accessible, and they would be sort of provided the resources to do that and the advice to do that.
That sounds like a really great idea. Actually, that second one. I loved the first one. I think I've seen some of Silver's kind of drawings around that. I know in other countries, I think they would be up for that as well. Especially some of the US pups. I think they that the kind of the issues that we have in the UK. I think they see a lot more of them in the US. So I think that would be really good and far-reaching as well. So no, thank you for that.
No.
Cool. So I had a specific question for you. So I went through your applications and I was like, what could I ask that's not really included, or it might be. So in your application, you said you had tried the pup role. So what I want to know is, what are one or two things which you took away from that experience which have helped to develop you as a handler?
Oh, that is a fantastic question. I sort of, one of the biggest ones for me was in terms of realizing that actually a hood does impair a lot of your senses. And, I put it on and didn't find myself sort of enjoying it per se, but I understood why. And I found myself wanting to think about ways in which I could improve an interaction with a pup that is sort of, in terms of hearing, in terms of like vision, is suddenly restricted by a hood. And that's actually one of the reasons why I was thinking about things like gestures, things like, like just things that you can interact with somebody while they have these sensory things through a hood.
Yeah. Cool. No, I agree. I think definitely the Mistress leather hoods, they do. I don't want to go too much into it because it's a question for later for someone else. But there is a sensory aspect to it, and I kind of liken it to mindfulness, because the whole point of mindfulness is to focus on kind of like a soul thing, like your breathing. And I think that when you put a hood on and you can't hear as much, and it takes some of the background noise, and your vision is more kind of focused on what's in front of you, I think that it doesn't just help with your headspace in that moment. It does kind of allow you to just forget about the rest of the world for a little bit, just enjoy what you're doing. So no, I get that completely. And it's great that you have seen that and gone, actually, do you know what? I need to, this is how I want to be as a handler. So brilliant. Thank you. Quincy, I'm going to ask you to jump back in. Have we had any questions?
Sorry, I'm eating chocolate. We're enjoying
perfect timing.
We're enjoying our time here in the studio. We have a lot of love again, as usual. We had the love your piercings. I'm trying to find it. Love your piercings. Really cool. Whoop whoop. Pack apocalypse represent as well in there. And then Maz has a lot of games. I don't know what that means.
Do you have a lot of board games? Yeah, video games.
So we have got two questions though. I'll do this one. You ready, Buumi?
Yes, go for it.
What would you do to encourage different kinds of pets to join with different genders and mental/physical health to be more involved in the community?
Wow, that's quite a deep question.
Starting each
I think
have we lost?
Honestly, can do is. Did you lose me for a second?
We did lose you for a little second.
Sorry about that.
Go back 30 seconds.
I'm just buying time so I can answer. No. I think honestly one of the most important things we can do is represent. I think if there are people there who are very openly sort of like talking about their mental and physical health needs, that are talking about their different gender identities, that are willing to sort of like come to pup events wrapped in like trans flags and non-binary flags, and kind of showing that this space is very inclusive is always a wonderful way to just make people feel a lot more comfortable. In terms of trying to encourage people out, I think having things like specific nights or specific events for certain demographics, certain like gender identity groups or people with like particular needs, and then like making it as safe and accessible for them as possible in that one instance, and then also then taking what you've learned from that into the more regular pup events as well. Just trying to get people involved.
Great. Shall I put you with an easier one this time?
No, that was fun. That was difficult though.
We've got one on YouTube from Curse. Hey Maz, do you have a handler headspace for each of the pups you handle?
I do. I was really resonating with sort of Mistress Vader talking about the kind of like caring mother headspace. I do have one of my pups. I do have a lot more of a sort of caring. I'm gonna go make you some food, and I'm gonna like wrap you up in a blanket, and let's just sort of hang out and watch TV. And then there's other pups, of course, that things have slightly more of a sexual side, or some pups that the vibe is very much sort of let's bounce around, get the cage out, get the mats out to protect your knees, and let's play around with squeaky toys and sort of bounce around. And I think that it is really fun to explore the different ways that people approach pup space, because I think each of my 3 pups like come at it in a different way. And I think that's really fun. But yeah, that's a good question actually, Kirst. Thank you.
I think we've got time for the last one. So
last one.
Go quickly.
So from YouTube, Fatal Immortality still going from when we started the live stream. Question
Fantastic.
for Maz. What do you feel has been the most useful accommodation for disabled and neurodiverse, because I believe that's what they're hinting at, neurodiverse or neurodivergent pup players?
Honestly, quiet spaces has been one of the most impactful that I have seen and I have experienced myself. Having a space where you can move away from noise, away from like a lot of other people, taking sort of like space to kind of rest, recharge your batteries in such an intense like social environment like that is really important. And I think I go to EMP quite regularly, and I find that their quiet space is really quite good. You can really get away from the music and the noise and just kind of sit and color in and draw some stuff and be separate from people for a little while and recharge. I do think that's really important. I actually did it for a birthday party I had recently, because there was quite a lot of people and people did not stop talking about the quiet space. It was very popular. I think people like to be able to recharge and rest and come back at it. It feels safer and yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Before Quincy jumps in, what are your socials? Where can people find you?
So I don't have a handler focused one, but I do retweet a lot of puppy stuff on my slightly NSFW Twitter, which is handler and owner on Twitter.
Handler and owner.
Thanks.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Again, thank you for joining us today and answering those questions. Some really good questions. And wave to Seabiscuit in the background.
Yeah, there's a biscuit.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on today, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time at the election.
Amazing. Thank you.
Right. Bye. Hey, Quincy.
Hello. Someone said thank you for asking their question. You are all welcome to ask questions. We will try and post as many as possible, but we have got tight restrictions, and Buumi probably needs a pee soon because he's getting old and has a smaller bladder now.
I am.
I
I should have got one of those puppy mats and put it under my chair.
little puppy pads, so then you can just pee where you are.
Cool. Right. We have our last handler.
Do we?
We do. Well, I hope we do. Is there a handler waiting?
Yes, we do have our last handler. Would you like me to exit and then add them to the chat?
Yes, please. I will introduce them. So our last handler for this year's Handler UK election is Mars Di Milo. I want to say it in an Italian accent. Is it an Italian accent?
I mean, yeah, I guess. It's sort of a reference to Venus de Milo, a Greek statue. So yeah.
I mean, when I read it, I was like, "How am I introducing that? Is it Mars?"
I don't
Di
know.
Milo?
Like,
It does feel like it needs to be Italian.
mm,
I think Tony, the current handler UK, would appreciate that. Although I feel like I'm
yeah.
like Mars Di Milo. So, could I ask you to give a short introduction of who you are, what city, town, or club you will be representing, please?
Well, hi, I'm Mars Di Milo. I'm a handler from Birmingham. Yeah.
Cool.
I am not necessarily like representing any club. I'm part of a few clubs, but I'm not specifically going into the competition. But with that in mind, but yeah,
that's fine. I think we've this year we've tried to encourage people to represent clubs to help promote other venues that people might not be aware of. I know you. Yeah, I know you put Birmingham in your thing. I think you put the one of the
Heart of England Leather Club. They're lovely, honestly, such an amazing guys. And I also go to Scritchy sometimes. It's an amazing club, lovely people there.
Thank you. The second question is, why would you like to compete for Handler UK?
So I initially wanted to compete after seeing all of the amazing stuff that other competitors have done for their communities. As a disabled and trans non-binary person coming into the pup play space, I was initially quite scared that I wouldn't actually fit in, but I had all those fears like totally squashed within like the first instance of meeting everybody there. I think I've met Scruff at my first time at Scritchies, and just the fact that everybody is neurodivergent, disabled, queer, and also welcoming. It sort of like made me feel welcome, and I guess like I wanted to give a bit back, I suppose. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
That's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're just having a chat. It's all good.
Okay, cool.
And I was trying to think. The first time I met you, was it when we were at the loft for Club Scriptures?
Yeah,
we were upstairs. Yeah, I think that was the very first one, our first event back after the years we don't talk about. I do remember meeting you, and then I don't think I saw you for a short while. It might have been Pride.
Yeah, I had like a bit of a health dip. But yeah, it was the first time that me and my puppy actually were at a community event together. And at the time, my pup didn't know if he was a pup yet, but we both were having conversations about it. Yeah. So I took him to his first event, and he came out of it being like, I need a puphood. Like, I think this is who I am. And I was like, oh, I'm really glad that you were able to come to that conclusion, and you were able to like feel comfortable within yourself. So just the fact that the community has done so much for me and my puppy, I kind of want to do something back for them too. I'm currently mostly sort of specializing within disability and navigating kink pet play with a disability. So I mean, I guess that'll come on to like all the things that I want to do with
that was going to be
sorry.
So how would you like to represent the community during your title year?
So currently I'm working on sort of like a series of zines, information sort of workshops around navigation of different types of kink with disabilities, lots of different types, like from neurodivergent divergencies from autism, ADHD to mental health, PTSD, for instance, and anxiety, and looking at ways that pet play and other types of kink too can actually help with I guess like finding different mindsets and developing yourself as a person outside of those situations. I'm also quite interested in the sort of puppy handler dynamics and the ways to apply that to the idea of being a disabled person and being empowered to ask for what you want and what you need. As you know, as a disabled handler, my puppy, our play is very much like fetch and stuff. Like these actions can be applied to other things within my life as a disabled person, like, can you go get me this? So like actually having the I guess the confidence for me to actually say and apply things that I want from my pup and from my carer, they both intersect in an odd way that I feel like having that raised would be interesting.
And I think you mentioned it in your application. I remember reading through each of your applications, and I think you said your pup acts as like a service pup for you. Is that correct?
Yeah. Basically, I mean, should I develop more on that?
Well, no, I was just going to add. So it's not something that I've seen in the UK as much. So service pups exist, and I know in America there are people that fulfill a similar role, and it's a lot bigger over there. But in the UK, when people think pup play, it's more about the traditional dynamic. What we were talking about earlier with Miss Vader and a little bit with Maz was there's that traditional kind of like handler, but you've kind of taken it and adapted it for your needs and kind of the world that you live in. To be able to kind of to do that. So and that it actually kind of it was it was the question I was going to ask you. So and I kind of alluded to it before. So let me ask it because I think it'll tie into what we were just talking. So I liken pup play to mindfulness. It helps reduce sensory input and it helps me focus on the now. But what does a handler headspace look like for you? And how does your relationship with your pup kind of work for both of you?
So, I mean, my pup, for instance, he has social anxiety, and I have social anxiety too, to a certain degree. But I find myself when I'm in a handler headspace, I'm able to put that anxiety outside because I'm looking after my pup, but I'm making sure that he can help me within like getting to events. So sometimes I'm in a wheelchair and he'll be pushing me. Sometimes in pup gear it's great. But it's just the fact that he's got like a task that he needs to do. It kind of helps him and it helps me to like navigate that anxiety with getting out. And I guess a lot of disabled people find going outside and just going to events just a little bit nerve-wracking at times. You kind of worry that what if this venue is inaccessible? What if I don't fit in? But just the fact that we're in this situation together, we both, it works like that, I guess.
Bro, cool, thank you.
Yeah.
So they were my questions. Quincy, Bunny from above.
Hello. Hello, Mars. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. We have got a lot of love in the chat as well. He says hi.
Oh, Paris.
He's in the background. We have a lot of love. We said whoop whoop Mars. We said someone said love the tattoo on your finger.
Oh, cheers. It's two butterflies, the trans and non-binary people in my life. So, yeah.
And then we do have a question for you. As a pet still trying to find his paws in the community, have you got any ideas on how to help new pup/pets be more involved and joining in the community?
Oh, I mean, I guess like going in, and I suppose knowing who the event organizers are, like giving them a message beforehand. Usually, these events will have like a meet group that will happen, you know, and they can introduce you to a few other people. There's always going to be people who are a little bit more talkative and might be doing their own thing there, but you also have like pups that might split off and be over there. So there's different bits. I guess like for people that are find like noise a little bit hard. So just knowing the different like accessibility stuff does help a lot. I would say just getting out there. Sorry.
That's fine. I bet Boomi's going to chip in there. I can see him literally on the edge of his chair going,
No,
I want to say something.
Now, I was just going to say that I think in recent years there are what you said, Mars. There are events now understand that there are people that have got anxiety about going to events, and so they will they'll happily get people at the event earlier when it's not open, so people can have a look around and understand what the space looks like and what kind of venue it is. So they are out there. I'd also suggest kind of getting in touch with not just the event organizers. I think the like past and present title holders, even the contestants, anyone that you might know that could potentially hold your hand and just give you that extra bit of confidence. I think that's go with a friend. That's how I went to my first event. I had a pushy boyfriend, and they were like, "We're going to this." And I was like, "Okay."
1987.
Thanks, Quincy. Thanks.
No.
I'm not that old.
Close. We also have another bit of love in the chat. Love the idea of blending your care needs as a disabled person with pup play. By having a service pup, I rely on my handler to look after me similarly as a disabled pup. So it works both ways. You have a service handler and you can have a service pup, whatever your needs are. That is all the questions we have, Buumi. I don't know if you'd... I have anxiety too. Worrying is fine. Yes, that's a mood. I don't know if you want to add all the handlers to the chat for the goodbye bit.
Yeah. If everyone's still about, and Dreikick.
Dreikick is gone, unfortunately.
That's all right. We can have handlers.
Can I mute them? I'm muted.
And Maz has a new hat on. A new hat?
Have a hat.
Yeah. Go on, Chrissy.
I was just going to say we also do have another chat later at 8 o'clock British summertime or 7 o'clock GMT +1, or UTC +1, whatever you like to prefer. But yeah, just to remind that before everyone disappears. Buumi, would you like to? Do you want questions to everyone, or would you like? What would you like?
Before we do questions for everyone, we forgot to ask Mars where people can
social
contact
media.
them.
So on Instagram you can find me at handler_mastermilo, and on Twitter I've got like a sort of not safe for work-ish Twitter. That's on private at the moment, but will be unprivated like tomorrow, which is great. That's like Mars_FDM, and I just post whatever. At the moment, mostly educational zine type stuff, but yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. So we do have a couple of minutes, so we might be able to get one or two final questions if anyone has any. So we'll give it 30 seconds. How did you how did you three find today? Was it? Hopefully, it wasn't too stressful. And
Definitely nervous, but I enjoyed it. It was good.
I had lots of fun.
Mm.
Good, yeah.
it has been great getting to know you. I know we have a chat that we speak in a lot, but it's great being able to kind of put names to faces and just kind of have a bit of a chat with you. So we have a question. What are all of your favourite dog toys? I'm going to start with Mars because you're in top right.
Oh, I love tennis balls. I like throwing them and catching them, chucking them for my puppy. But also just they're really, really good way of was it grounding as well, just throwing them and catching them. It's good.
Cool, thank you. Maz, you're next on my screen.
I recently got these for my puppy, and they kind of like allow for a bit of non-verbal kind of press the button. He wants a treat, or like to go in the cage, or so these have been really fun, and they were quite cheap actually. Just sort of like a fun bit of stuff to add to your pup play and headspace stuff. It's really quite cool.
Cool. Thank you very much. And Mistress Vader, what's your favourite dog toy?
I don't know if it counts as a toy, but I find treats is like a fun way to do a bit of like training or like, you know, a little bit of play. So like, you know, balancing things on the nose, getting them to weight, those sorts of things. So yeah, treats for me.
I know Tony, when I've been at events with Tony, and so hikers do this, you know, when you go into the hills and then you stack stones, Tony will the puppy to sit there and then they'll just start stacking toys on their head.
It's like Buckaroo, but it's Pupparoo.
Yes.
And yeah. I played that at the last kennel club that I was at, I think, with Squish. So that was really fun. We kept piling things up, and he had to stay really still. It was cute.
My favourite dog toy is anything with a squeaker. Cool. Next question. Favourite treats to give? We'll go back the other way. Mistress Vader.
I bake, so I like to bake little cookies sometimes. I've got like little cutters that are like paw print shape or bone shape, depending what people are into. So yeah, probably cookies.
Cool, thank you. Matt?
So I have a cute little treat tin that was like that's like a metal tin, and as soon as he hears this like metal tin opening, he knows he's getting something good. I always put in like little Reese's peanut butter cup things or little tiny Kinder Bueno stuff, or like little treats and chocolate. Just like yeah, you like most things. Yeah.
Cool. And Mars, what treats do you like to give?
Quite like giving Starbursts. They're pretty good, and I think like as well, like anybody can have them because I think they're vegan, right? I hope so, but yeah,
I'll need to check that.
Yeah, but yeah, they're pretty good.
I was just about to say with the vegan comment, I know a few vegan puppies, and I was just thinking because you said like Reese's Pieces and kind of like with peanuts. It's like, please be careful with your treats and making sure that they're suitable for the puppies that you're giving to. So, bro. I think we're kind of roughly out of time now. So again, a big thank you to all of you for coming on your time today. Thank you to everyone that kind of logged in and asked questions. That's exactly what we needed. So I have a script in front of me. Let me go back to my script. We have heard from the contestants and they have given us some insights to who they are and what they stand for. So I hope that you can join us on the 11th of November at the Village Inn, Hurst Street, Birmingham from 1 o'clock for the Puppy and Handler UK contest. More details are available on our social media and our website, which should be below. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. That way. There we go, Quincy. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
It's me and you, Buumi.
Oh, bye. Well, that went pretty well. There's some good questions in there.
We're still live, darling.
I know we're still live. I can see the live thing in the top corner of the screen, babes.
Yeah. Well, you forgot to say something.
Oh, what did I forget to say?
What we got later?
You're a naughty bun bun. Oh, we've got yes. Please come back later at 8 o'clock, or what's the GMT? 7+1.
That's GMT +1.
Yeah, GMT +1 or UTC +1. When we will be speaking with the rest of the contestants or the remaining 4 puppies.
Look,
So, yeah,
look.
please come
One
back
of
later.
the contestants said their favourite toy is a squeaky pillar, a squeaky Pikachu. So you might get to know more about Valto later, isn't that right, Buumi?
Yes, maybe. I wouldn't say Squeaky Pikachu. I would also, I know Pup Wheelie likes Pokemon, especially Pikachu. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, is Wheelie on? But no, yeah, we will speak to the other pups later. And that is, I've forgotten their names off the top of my head. It's Koi, it's Extra, it's Volto, and Slush the pup.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a squeaky toy here. So,
So we'll see you all at 8. See you later.
Bye, everyone.